Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are finally past Blade Show. Have a few videos up of all my interviews at Blade. Go check them out. And starting to post some pictures. But wanted to do a full Blade Show haul video for you guys. People have been asking for it. And I'm here to deliver, guys. Going to talk through what I did at the show and what all I picked up. But before I get into the pickups, I got into the show on Thursday. Got my early bird pass, my bracelets that you just like tape on there, guys, or whatever it is. And then I went to dinner at Copeland's. Now, my buddy on Instagram, Old Man Bob Poncho, set this up. And there was a lot of people there, guys. So let me go ahead. I have a list. Just to go down the list, guys, we had Brian and Will from Keennison. We had Israel and his brother from Arcane Designs. We had Seth from Avian Knives. We had Chase and his wife, Catherine, from Boatwright Blade Works. We had, obviously, myself, my wife, and Old Man Bob. We had Brian Brown. We had Steven with Sinister Knife on Instagram. DJ Horn, Lefty EDC, and we had Hope, who works with Cutlery Shop. Guys, it was a packed dinner. And everybody who we told we were at dinner with later was like, oh man, I wish I was there. And we were like, yeah, well, you should have come. Dinner was great. It was great hanging out with all those people and just talking knives, guys. Had some great Cajun food and then went to the pit and just hung out, which is what the show is all about. Got to hang out with Jonathan McNeese and his wife, along with everybody else at the pit, guys. It was a crazy night. After that, went to bed and got up pretty damn early for Friday. But before I get into that, let's go ahead, head top down. I typically don't do this anymore, but let's go top down and look at all of the stuff that was picked up from Blade. All right, guys, not doing a lot of top down anymore, but we are top down. I figured it was appropriate. There's a lot going on here, a lot that happened at Blade Show. So let's kind of do a story time and go through. Friday morning, I was in line at 3:30 a.m. outside of the, I guess, conference center is what you would call it. And doors opened at 8:30. Went to the small room, waited outside to get in at 10. At 10 o'clock, ran inside and was able to pick up my first knife of the show, and that was an Oz Machine Roosevelt. Now, this particular one with this, I believe it's a Zircuti clip and backspacer. Oh, come on, focus up. Very pretty. This particular one cost me $1,000. So this was $1,000, just so you know. It's beautiful. The hype lives up to it. I think around $1,000 or less, these are phenomenal. After that, I headed over to Maverick Concepts and picked up this saber. Now, I held this Thursday night in the pit, and I knew I had to have it. Nick was walking around the pit, and he had this in his case, and I just knew, guys. I knew I needed it. I knew I wanted it. I was lucky enough that it was still there when I got there. Very happy with that pickup. Along with that, I also got a coin. So, very cool. After that, still in the small room, went over to Eric Luther. Now, this one is very special, guys, because it is the very first Luther Luck M Slim. Eric Luther Luck M Slim. It is the very first Slim. So it's the first one that's slimmer this way and in the blade stock. Very cool knife. Eric is a great guy. But while I was there, his son had also lasered some of these. These small prize. Oh, I'm going to forget their names. I will have a pop-up with the name of these prize, but I grabbed one of these as well. After that, I wandered, still in the small room, over to Sparrow Knife Co. Entered some lotteries with Brian Brown, Keennison, and Ware, but then headed over to Greg at Sparrow. He had this knife for me. There was no photos, no pictures, no nothing. He wanted my reactions. So this is the Strix that he made specifically for me. This is going to be paper butterscotch micarta. And let me be doubly sure so I can bring vintage butterscotch. I am sorry, guys. With black hole Damascus on the blade and on the clip. It's gorgeous and I love it. All right, guys, after that, I went over to the big room, swung by Michael Birch. Everything there was lottos. So signed up for a lotto. And then the only thing first come, first serve was this. I believe these are escape pods is what he calls them. What I really love, there you go, guys. They say fuck this and fuck that on them. I laughed really goddamn hard. These are bronze, and I just went ahead and picked one up. From there, I rounded the corner and went past Hawk Knives, and lo and behold, there was a deadlock on the table. Now, this particular one in full DLC and DLC blade set me back 1800, guys. But, I mean, the blade can't move. You know, it's a deadlock. And it has this gorgeous dark matter carbon fiber. This thing is absolutely killer. Absolutely killer. The best OTF, end of sentence. I get it now, guys. Very, very cool. From there, I went up to the Koenig booth, or thought I was going to, and there was a line of like 20 people. And I was like, what is happening here? That was the line to get to Koenig to check out what was on the table and see what was available, put your name down to purchase, and then get into another 20 plus person line to buy the knife. Now, don't ask me how. I don't freaking know how. I got lucky as hell. I get up to the Koenig table. There was a Style 55 that has like the swishes in the side handle. There was a purple CF, and then I looked down and it looks like there's a blackout. And I was like, they're bringing blackouts? I didn't even know there was here. There's two guys in front of me and they're fidgeting with this knife. I asked them to hand it down to me. They do. That wasn't smart of them. Picked it up immediately. Bill's standing in front of me. He had my mini goblin. We were talking. And he goes, yeah, I brought 13 of those. And I went, sold. So, it is DLC, but let me cant that towards the light. There's some bronze in there, guys. It is an oil-rubbed bronze handled Arius with DLC on everything else. Yeah, 13 of these. 14 if you count the one that Tim Reeve has. Oh, it does not want to focus, does it, guys? There you go. This thing is killer. Absolutely killer. Well, guys, that was my main bulk of pickups, and then there were a couple other things I wanted for the channel and for you guys to see. So I stopped by Hinderer, and they had a bunch of their Stonewash really bright anodes, and they had a single battle bronze left. So this is the Hinderer XM18 Auto. Grabbed one of these for $6.50. That's what they were at the table. Mostly because I wanted to compare this to other autos, namely that one, and then, you know, just show it off to you guys so you guys can take a look. So let's go and tuck him down. After that, I dropped by McNeese and, you know, saw some of their new patterning that they had on the 3.5s. There is a full video on that, guys. And looked at the Cerakotes they did on the 3s, the standard Mac 2s. But then I had to grab an auto. Now, technically, these are the 3.5-inch blade, but it is a little bit shorter and the handle's a little bit narrower just so it fits nice in hand. These are great. I love the hollow grind, and in fact, these are MagnaCut, which is super cool. Oh, also, the Oz is also in MagnaCut. But the MagnaCut stuff was obviously the hotness at the show. This thing kicks like hell. It's very cool. After that, did some roaming around, and Nicole and Brad over at Bradford dragged us aside when they saw us. They are great people, and Nicole talked my wife into my very first Bradford, or our first Bradford at that point. So this is a 3.5 sheep's foot, but the main reason she likes it, this Richlight is great. Pinch grip, it's a Santoku, guys. It's super cool. But there you go. Finally have a Bradford. And then that was pretty much the end of day one. After that, it was dinner and then down to the pit. Now, down at the pit, I had my entire knife collection out, guys. We're talking everything. And people were just coming and going, saying hi. I was handing out some stickers. But the one knife everybody wanted to see while we were down there was the Wonderblade Co. Factor. I had people dragging their friends over wanting to see this. So it's really cool to get the word out, have people handle it at the show. I'm so glad I had it. If you got to handle it, go ahead and shout out in the comments, guys. But yeah, this one is killer. Well, I'm down in the pit, and Levon from Knife Nuts comes over, and we're talking. He sits down next to me, and he asked me to start handing him knives. So I handed him some of these. We were chatting. And then another guy that I did not recognize comes over, sits next down to Levon. And Levon bumps me in the arm and goes, "You need one of these." And I said, "Oh man, I'm tapped for the show." And he goes, No, you need one of these." So I stand up, I walk over, and I am handed this. This is a touch knife. Now, if you have not seen these, oh, come on, focus up. I had to get the green, matches the truck, guys. So you can manually roll that open. You can also flick it, normal. But also, this is the same thing as the whisker from ProTech. That bolster moves. That's an auto. So it's both. This was $280, guys, for the green. Had to have it, wanted to review it, wanted to show it to you guys. So happy with this. Well, guys, that was pretty much the end of day one. Day two, slept in a little bit later, didn't get to the showroom floor till about 10. And on my way there, I bumped into one of the guys from Worry Free Cheese and picked up a pin. Super nice, really wanted something like this. I love the Worry Free Cheese that I got with my Renegade Hank, my Renegade EDC Hank. There are pictures on the Instagram. After that, I'm walking around and I notice one of the people that does some purchasing for Cutlery Shop, and I wanted to talk to them about, a couple different things. And she goes, "Oh, well, if you want to talk to somebody, Jeff's right there." He walks over, he has a bunch of their exclusives, got some swag from them guys, and really built a good relationship there. Super, super nice people. Love them. After that, went back to the small room. And, I need to reach across here and grab something, guys. Went back to the small room and was looking around, and I went over and saw Notorious EDC. Tom was there. So I picked up a little 2-set of Cart Sniped patches. I think they're hilarious. Went ahead and grabbed those. And then I walked over to Malini Mob. Now, talking to him over there because my friend Victoria SheDC over on Instagram absolutely loves the Skelly Vamps. So, picked one up. This is Zirconium and G10, I believe, if I'm remembering correctly. These are cool. So it's a Nuck, it's a bottle opener, and it has a hex. Super neat. After that, walked around, did some more lotto entries, handled my knife again over with Sparrow Knife Co. And then I went back to the big room for interviews. Now, my first interview of the day was actually with TRM right after I had lunch with them. That video is also live. I picked up these fat carbon scales that they have milled and contoured, beautiful, for my Atom. And then this is actually on loan from one of the guys that works with them. So this is a Thai Holy Nerd, I think they're calling them. But there will be a review on this on the channel. Very cool to have this and being able to see this and actually show it to you guys. Well, after that, I stopped by Rosecraft. Didn't actually interview them until Sunday. That video is also live. But I picked up a coin from them. I love Pocket Trash, guys. On my way over, I was talking to Ryan Rimmer from Rimmer Designs. And I picked this up. I asked him what the most piratey thing was he had on the table. He pointed this one out. It's in brass. I needed it. So I love it. Ryan's a great guy. Really love the work he does. And, a lot of heartfelt work goes into this. And he was standing right next to Jake over at Bearded Gear. And then right next to them was Kevin with Lefty EDC. So all had their tables with their knives, and I got to talk to them for a bit. After that, guys, did my interview with Benchmade. That is also live. And I was then free to kind of walk around, do other interviews that I needed to do. So I ended up over at Spartan Blades. I always do. Curtis and I have a good working relationship. They are very nice. They gave me a coin and a patch. Did my interview with them, and that is also live on the channel. After that, guys, I was over talking to a friend and they on Instagram, and he said I had to check out Swank Hanks. So was in the big room already, picked up some Swank Hanks. I believe it was Peter over there. Super nice guy, guys. I would strongly recommend supporting him. Well, anybody that you see on the table. But this, Hank, is going to be a great backdrop for some photos, guys. So you might see that in the future. After that, guys, did some walking around, did a few other small interviews, and then went to dinner and went to the pit. Now, didn't have my collection with me, but was just hanging out down there. Got to hang out with some great people like Steve over at SDK Knives, Oz Machine. Met Frank from Dr. Frankie, guys. Got to hold some of his crazy customs that he had with him. Talked to David Carver for a bit, and also talked to Chase over at Boatwright Blade Works, and DJ Horn, who, if you don't know, used to work for Southern Grind and did a lot of assembly work for them. So great time, and I'm standing there in the pit, and Ryan Rimmer drags over somebody that I did not know. Well, lo and behold, it was 52 Graves from Instagram, Aaron. And he said, you guys need to talk. Well, we got to talking. We have a lot in common. I picked up a Wu-Tang Death Cookie, guys, which I'm absolutely in love with. We did some patch trading, and he gave me an Always Tired Snorlax, which made me laugh. And fingers crossed, there might be a Screaming Pirate at 52 Graves Death Cookie, guys. That would be exciting. Well, that was end of Saturday. Sunday was running around, more interviews, everything from Spyderco to KPL. Gosh, guys, it was everything. It was all over the place that day. But while I was there, I also did an interview with Civivi and Wii, with Kyle over there. So I picked up the new Wii Thug 2 in micarta. Once again, I'll be doing a video of this on the channel. Personally, I really like it. I even like it better than the Wii. I actually really like the deep carry clip. Very cool, very sleek, and actually fits in my hands. Really robust knife. I do like this a lot. While we're walking around the showroom floor, I actually also ran into Hellacious Blades. Now, they had a booth, but they're also local to me, guys. They're only about an hour away from me. Got this patch, and hopefully I'm going to be working with them for more stuff on the channel. After that, guys, I went over to Berg Blades and did my interview with Matt. Now, I was obviously tapped for the show for money. You guys spent way too much. We get over there, and my wife spots this. This is a Berg Mini Slim with the Timascus, okay? Well, she spots this and is able to reverse flick it and goes, I want it. And I'm going, well, the only other thing she got in the show was the Bradford. So I got her this. Got to keep my camera person happy, right, guys? But very cool little knife. Matt was great to talk to. So after that, went back over to the big room to finally pick up my Strix from Greg over at Sparrow. And while we were there, I bumped into, oh gosh, here we go, Teats Customs, I believe it is, guys. Got a patch from him, really good talking to him, and just met some great people, guys. But this kind of gives you the rundown of the show, my haul from the show, pickups. If you have any questions about what I picked up, please shout out in the comments or message me on Instagram. I'm always happy to answer questions, guys. But yeah, it was a hell of a show. made a lot of contacts. It was good to see friends, and picked up some crazy cool stuff for the channel and for the collection. Well, guys, if you liked everything, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.